Hey, thanks for taking a minute to listen to me. I got a story I want to tell you, and I want you to imagine just for a minute that I could share with you a story that would have such impact on you and your life that it could remove pain. It could remove unforgiveness. It could remove anxiety. It could remove hate. I know that's a tall expectation, but I really feel and felt led to share this story, and I want you to consider everything that I'm saying and really take it to heart, because with the recent Florida shootings and the Columbine shootings and all these shootings in between and all the stuff out there, there's people out there that are just having terrible hatred in their hearts. They're having terrible times with dealing with the pain of the loss of a loved one, the loss of a son, the loss of a daughter, the loss of a sibling, whatever that is. And I really feel like I can share with you something that literally can change your life and is life-changing, because it happened to me. And I don't want to try to compare what happened to me, what's happening to you, or what pain you might be going through, but it did change my life and it gave me a different perspective. And I want to share with you a story and see if it can help you with what you're going through. So this is meant for anybody and everybody who's going through pain, unforgiveness, and hate because of a tragic event that happened in your life, and specifically, everyone in Florida and everyone around all those families in that community. So my name is Greg Ryder, and I live in Escondido, California. I'm 56 years old, and I was born into a really wealthy family in Denver, Colorado. Unfortunately, my dad was an alcoholic, and my dad was actually on a drunken binge in Las Vegas while my mom was rushed to the hospital and gave birth to me. Well, that obviously led to a divorce, and my mom got divorced somewhere when I was 2 or 3 years old, and I live with my mom, who's an amazing person, who's actually got me, she's in the ministry, and she helped teach me some of the things I'm going to share with you today. And I lived with my mom and visited my dad, and I grew up not really liking my dad because my dad did not treat my mom properly. And then as I got older, meaning like 16, 17, 18, where I kind of could understand things, I got to a point to where I really hated my dad. And the reason I hated my dad is because he was an alcoholic, and he was a mean alcoholic. This guy was like a cool guy when he was sober, but the minute he started drinking, there was like this tipping point where he became so mean and so hateful and so abusive. It was horrible. And I hated my dad. And I don't want to get into all the intricacies of that verbal abuse and that abuse, but the bottom line is I felt that hatred like you maybe are feeling the hatred. I was there. I experienced it, and it was my dad, right? And it's this guy you look up to, this guy that you want to love. And then I'm going to kind of fast forward a little bit. I ended up getting into the securities industry, and I became into this industry, and I ended up starting to do cocaine. And I seriously got addicted to cocaine, and thank God my wife stuck through me with all of this, because I should have been dead. I should have been 6 feet under, and she gave me hope. She was something to live for, something to keep going for. And again, I'm going to take this really long story and make it succinct for you. So after a few years of this cocaine addiction, I realized that I was killing myself, and I had this really weird thing going on, that I had gone to church and got born again. I was a Christian, and when I would come down and I was sober, I had this addiction and this craving to do more cocaine. And then when I was high on cocaine, I would cry and I would weep and I'd pray to God, get me off this, help me get off this. It was like, I had these times obviously where I was partying, doing stuff, but I really wanted to get off the cocaine. I'm a very strong-willed person, and I wanted to kick it on myself. I didn't know what to do, so I came up with a plan. And the plan was I was going to tell my mom and tell my dad that I was addicted. Of course, they're not together, so I told them separately that I was addicted. And I said, give me 2 weeks to get clean. And if I don't get clean in 2 weeks, if I don't kick this by myself, I said, I literally want you to have me committed. Like, seriously, I'm going to kill myself. I'm not doing right by my family. I need some help. And so they didn't know I was on cocaine. I'd been hiding it really well. And so what happened is my dad had a house in Vail, Colorado, a condo. So I said, let me go stay at the condo in Vail and try to. Now, that's not a very good place to go get off cocaine, because you can get it anywhere you want in Vail, Colorado. But I locked myself in this condo, and I was going through the withdrawals and getting clean. And again, and the other thing too, this is my memory. So it'll be interesting to see what my wife says when she sees this and what my mom says when she sees this. But again, it really doesn't matter because it's my memory, it's my perceptions, and it's my perceptions are my reality, just like your perceptions, your reality, and your fear, your hate, your unforgiveness, everything you're going through is yours. It doesn't matter what anyone says to you, it's yours. So the goal is to help you with yours with this story. And I'm going to share with you, exactly how you can break free of this very easily. At least I did. So as I was going through withdrawals, at one point during this withdrawal period, God opened my eyes into the spirit realm, and I literally saw angels and demons fighting. Now you might sound like that might sound crazy to you, but to me it was real. I saw angels and demons fighting over this addiction. And they were fighting over this addiction, and the angels were fighting on my behalf, and the demons were fighting to keep me addicted. And then at one point, somewhere towards the end of a week period of time, boom, the angels won the fight and the demons left. And I saw in the spirit realm, I saw these real physical, real things leave. And the angels kind of had like a victory dance. And from that moment on, the addiction left me. I never have ever touched cocaine again. I never ever had the desire to do it. I came back to my office and everyone around me was doing it, and that prompted me to fold up tent and move and get out of the business because I didn't want to be around those kind of people. But it left me. Once the demons left, I was healed of that addiction. And this is kind of like the first step to something I just want to share, and I hope that I hope this resonates with you, and I hope God can speak to you, and I hope the angels go to war on your behalf, right? So now take this to the next step. So I start to understand demons, and my mom, she believes in demons, and she comes from a background where she would teach people about demons, and she actually wrote a book called Angels and Demons, Hollywood Knows the Difference. And you think about it, they've made movies about demons for decades, and exorcism and all that kind of stuff. The Exorcist and different, there's lots and lots and lots of movies about this. And that stuff, in my opinion, really is real. Because I've seen them. I've seen them manifest. And I'm going to tell you one other quick story, and then I'm going to share with you how this healed me, right? So when I decided to leave Colorado because I got clean, I didn't want to be in that, we moved out here to California. At that time, my mother had a radio show, and she had a radio ministry, and she would tell people she was going to come preach for them. And hey, come meet me at this place, I'm going to preach. And 40 or 50 people would show up, and then she would preach, and then we'd go home. So I was out here looking for a place to live. I was with her and helping her, and this lady comes up to me and says, "Hey, do you think your mom would pray for my mom when she's done preaching?" And I'm like, "Well, sure, she'd pray for her. Where is she?" She's like, "Oh, she's in the car." I'm like, "Oh, we'll go get her. We got to bring her in." Now, "Oh, no, I can't bring her in. No, we can't bring her in." And I'm like, "What do you mean you can't bring her?" She said, "No, I just want your mom to pray for her when she's done preaching." And I'm like, "Well, no, you bring her in. What are you talking about?" And right then my mom walks up, and I tell my mom, "Hey, this one lady wants to have you pray for her mom." My mom's like, "Where is she?" She's in the car. We're like, "Go get her." "No, I can't get her. I can't get her." "Why can't you get her?" And my mom's like, "Take her to me right now." And I will never forget the next 3 or 4 hours of my life. We go out to this car, and here's this lady that I think was somewhere in her 60s, and she was handcuffed, sitting in the car, handcuffed with her legs handcuffed under her knees, so she could not chew on her arms because she was so demon possessed. Her arms were scabbed because she would chew on her arms. She was growling and making noises that I've never heard. So you can imagine a guy like me seeing this, and you're going, she's growling and making noises that you just can't even imagine could come out of a human being. And my mom says, "Get her out of the car." And they get her out of the car, and she's handcuffed, right? She's got the handcuffs behind her. They take her in. My mom says, "Hey, somebody else go preach." And we go in this room somewhere. My mom starts praying and casting these demons out, now, which I have never seen before. I had no idea my mom did this. And I saw sounds come out of this lady and growling and things, and said, like 3 or 4 hours of prayer and laying hands on this lady. And by the time my mom and this prayer session was done, the lady left out of handcuffs, singing "Yes, Jesus Loves Me," crying, and the daughter was crying and weeping of happiness because he said her mother had been possessed like that for years. And I was just like, poof, blow my mind, right? So I've seen demons manifest in humans. Personally, I had God open up my eyes to the spirit realm. I saw demons leave me. So what happened with me is I understand demons. I started to get this understanding of the demons through my mother. I came to the realization, my mom said to me one day, she goes, Greg, she goes, you can't hate your dad. You have to hate the demons. You have to hate the demons. Love your dad. You're like, wow. And ever since I had that concept, and I grasped that concept of blaming the demons, hating the demons and loving my dad, I had the best relationship with my dad to the day he died. I want you to have that. This 19-year-old kid who made those shootings in Florida, the news reported that he heard voices talking to him. I'm telling you, those are demons. It's a biblical written process. They've been around for forever. Hollywood knows about them. Hollywood makes movies about them. Now, even if you don't want to believe that demons exist, consider this. Consider hating the demons anyway. Blame it on the demons. Get rid of that hatred. Hate the demons. Love the person. Can you imagine that 19-year-old boy? He was a baby at some point. He was somebody's little baby. He was somebody's little kid crawling on the floor. He was somebody's 4-year-old. He was somebody's 6-year-old. He was somebody's 8-year-old. You have a 6-year-old. You have an 8-year-old. You have a 10-year-old. You have a child. What causes a 19-year-old boy to go into a school with a semi-automatic or automatic, whatever kind of rifle it was, and shoot people? It's demons. So we blame it on the demons. What causes that husband to be abusive? It's demons. What causes people to hate people and do heinous things? It's demons. For me, this is something I've kept in me. I've kept this story and this conversation in me for years, literally for decades. And God kept saying, share your story. Literally like the last 5-6 months, He's prompted me to tell this story and record this video. Tell this story, record this video. Tell this story, record this video. And I've been too busy. I had too much going on. I'm a busy person. I don't want to do this. I don't want to put myself out there. And finally, I'm submitting to God because I really believe this can help people. And really, for me, it doesn't really matter if you believe me. It doesn't really matter if this resonates with you. It works for me. It helped me forgive. I forgave my father. I forgave other people, and I blamed it on the demons. So I have a pretty good basis for everything I'm talking about, right? And again, just consider for you in your life. Think about it. And if you're the type of person that prays and believes, pray about it. Because the worst thing that you can harbor is hate. Hate will kill you. It will destroy you. We've seen it. It's documented. It happens to everybody who hates. So the idea is, let's get rid of the hate with forgiveness. How do you get rid of the forgiveness? By hating the demons, right? Blame it on the demons. Don't blame it on the 19-year-old kid. He obviously was demon-possessed. Now, the news, everyone calls it mental health. Okay, call it mental health. What the hell is mental health problem? What is that? What is a mental health problem? It's freaking demons. Hate the demons. Have forgiveness. Pray for the families. Pray for the people that have these problems. Pray for the people that the demons will leave. Pray that the angels would go to war on their behalf. Pray that the angels would fight those demons like they did me, and those demons would lose and go, and the addiction would be gone. That the mental health would be gone. That the desires to kill, rape, pillage, steal would be gone. You think about this, you think about where we are in our culture, where we are in our society, where we are today. And if people would understand the demonic forces that absolutely exist, in my opinion, and you start to pray about it, that's where we can have change and healing. And I watch the news. I'm a news junkie because I want to follow what's going on in our world. And I keep thinking, man, no one's talking about prayer. No one's talking about where's the church. No one's talking about praying and having a real movement of praying against violence. My mom actually started a website, prayagainstviolence.com. Not even sure if it's still up, it's like 10 years old. But it's about prayer. It's about blaming those demons. And it's about getting rid of that anxiety, getting rid of that fear, getting rid of that hatred, and forgiving, and then moving on. Are we going to get rid of all the demons? Is this going to stuff? It's going to continue to happen. You know, this whole idea that, well, if we ban guns, we ban this, we do that, that's going to fix the problem. I don't know that anything's going to fix the problem but prayer from God. So I just want you to really think about it and consider, can you, in your life, and I don't know if it's an abusive boss, I don't know if it's an abusive spouse, I don't know what it is, I don't know if it's a child that you have that's gone off the deep end and doing drugs and being unruly. Can you start to hate the demons and love the person? Love can conquer all. And with your prayers, I think you can make a difference. So I hope this has been meaningful to you. I hope it changes your life. If you have been touched by this, please share this, because I know there's other people that can be touched by this. I want to say thank you very much. I appreciate you. I love you, man. Maybe you've never heard somebody say that, but I love you for watching. I love you for being there. Do what I do. Wake up every day with an attitude of gratitude. Give gratefulness that you're alive, that you have a house, that you have a bed, that you have water. Whatever it is you have, give gratefulness. Be grateful for everything you have. And then find somebody and tell them you love them. And I promise you'll have a better day.